Hello everyone, I'm going to try to do a sermon today. I'm going to be in Lamentations 3:21 through 26, I believe. And it says, this I recall to my mind, therefore I have hope. It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, saith my soul. Therefore will I hope in him. The Lord is good unto them that wait for him, to the soul that seeketh him. It is good that man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord. So I'm going to go back and do verse 22 and 23 today, because that's the bulk of my message. It says, it is of the Lord's mercies that we're not consumed. Satan is like a big old bulldog that God's got on the end of a leash. If he ever let him go, we wouldn't have a chance. It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. New every morning. That's the way we ought to approach the morning. New. Wipe out all the things that's been negative. Start on a new day. We need to start positive every morning. I heard about a man and he seemed to be able to, leave the past behind, and they asked him about it. And he said he had a trouble tree that whenever he came in, he hung his troubles upon that tree so he wouldn't bring them into his family. I've heard of people taking a calendar page and crumbling it up, throwing it in the garbage can. Somebody that don't have a grip, they'll say, that's just how I feel, I can't help it. Well, you can help it, I think. Maybe not all of it, but as much as you can control and help, I think that we are to do that. That's the faster we can recover from life's disappointments and hurts. And I've said in other sermons, don't waste time with self-pity. My mother-in-law, which is, in my estimation, I had two mothers, a natural one and a spiritual one. And my spiritual one is my mother-in-law, Sister Annie Ruth Morris. And she told me one time, said, Dale, I've never got the Lord to do anything for me, trying to get him to feel sorry for me. And I found the very same thing in my life. You throw the party, you have the cake, the balloons, the whistles, you invite people to come, but they don't ever come to my party, my pity party. So I just quit having them. When a child is real small, they get upset about every little thing, pitch them a little fit, that sort of thing. But as we move older, when I was a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. We ought to, there ought not to be things upsetting us like they did when we was a children. We ought to be maturing. We ought to consider, is this a 5-minute problem, a 5-hour problem, a 5-day problem, a 5-month problem, a 5-year problem? Just how bad is this problem? And don't let other people control you. You are the director of your life. This is your life. Don't let people cause your mood to go one way or the other. We don't need to waste our time on things that we can't control. There's so many things we can't control. And we don't need to be a yo-yo Christian. I see people, I call them yo-yo Christians. They're up here. Okay, that's where they're at. That's where I find them next time I go to church. And then, boom, there they are down there. Then I say, that's where I'm going to find them. And I go to church, and there they up over here. They just like this. They're just like a yo-yo. And me personally, I want to not do that way. I noticed years ago when I first started out in the ways of the Lord, Brother Jack Kelly, we started about the same time, and I noticed that no cell phones, but I'd call his house, and I noticed that if I was down and I called and he was up, I had to try to get up there with him, or we couldn't have a good conversation. And if he was down, which he never was hardly, I had to try to come down. It's a lot easier to condescend than it is to come up, but you can learn to do that. If you just try with the good Lord's help, you can do that. And don't waste energy on things that you can't do nothing about anyway. I do it. I'm guilty, but I know the rule, and that's what we need to work on. Uh, and don't just keep making the same mistakes over and over again. Uh, when we let things bother us, we need to. But while I'm talking about the yo-yo Christian, my brother-in-law said about a person. He said they're the same every time you see them, and that caught my mind, and I thought that's the way I want to be. You know, I want to be the kind of person that you couldn't tell by looking if somebody had just greeted me with some good news or bad news. So I want to be that way. The yo-yo Christian, he rides an emotional roller coaster. You know. Uh, and you know we grow through struggles and trials. That's the way we grow. So you can learn from anything and anybody if you'll let yourself. Uh, I I know that and talking about his mercies are new every morning. Um, I want anything. I want to have charity, and I don't believe charity keeps a record of hurts. Um, you know, just some people they hurt me, and they take that out and look at it. They build a monument to it. If they were hurt at the corner of 6th Avenue and Vine or whatever it is, every time I go past that road, is it right there? Right there is where they hurt me. You know, we need to wipe the slate clean. We don't need to, because that'll carry over. That'll carry over in your family time and in your church time. So we don't need to do that. When I think about yo-yo Christians, I think about Joseph. They threw him in a pit. He didn't stumble and fall in the pit. They threw him in there. And then they didn't try to get him out till the Ishmaelites came and got him. People, you know, I heard the story, and there's a lot of different variations going around, but man had a mule. He really loved it. And he decided he dug a hole out in the yard or whatever it was, a field, and he was intending to fill it up, but he just hadn't got around to it. And he left home and he came back and he didn't see his mule. He remembered the hole. He said, "Oh my goodness, I hope that mule hadn't stumbled into that hole." He went and looked, and sure enough, that's what had happened. The mule had went down in the hole. And so he said, "Well, I guess I just put it out of its misery." So the dirt that came out of that hole, the big old mound of dirt, he just started shoveling it and covering the mule up. Just going to bury the mule. And he put a shovelful in there and started back with another shovelful, and that mule had shook that off, packed it down, and he kept doing that. And the mule was smarter than the man, and the man saw how that was going, so he just went to shoveling as fast as he could, and the mule walked out of the hole. Can you build something with the bricks that people throw at you? Don't waste them. I mean, if they're going to throw them at you, use them. There's only a few rough people to deal with, the way I've seen it down through the years. Most people are they're very good, and so I don't want to let the few affect my feelings for the great. I feel sorry for people. You see them, and they are always in controversy and confrontation with other people, and I don't want to do that. But I just want to let my record speak for itself. They're new every morning. That's what we need. We need to come in with a clean slate every morning, forget the things that's behind us, and start building for that day. Start working towards it, trying to make something of that day. And after a while, the days you made something of become weeks and weeks, months and months. You have to have your eye. Brother David Jones said, The only time that you see obstacles is when you take your eye off the goal. And I want to keep my eye on the goal. I've enjoyed getting this to you. It's short, and I'm glad. But I love you. I care about you, and I really enjoy doing these. And I love the thought in my head that says maybe I'm helping somebody. So I'm going to give you my number, 256-508-4410. If you can call me, I might not get right back to you, but I'll try to get back when I can, as soon as I can. And if there's anything you want me to be thinking about before we talk, leave me a little bit of information about that. So may God bless you is my prayer. I love you so much.